Damn.
I didn't know that. Are you excited about the Spurs though?
Am I excited? I'm not
You're not really a San Antonio guy either. You're born there, but did you really rep it? Yes, you were born in San Antonio.
I was born in Cibola.
Yeah, that makes it even worse. Yeah,
I was Wieterstein.
Yeah, I was there. I didn't want you. You know what I'm saying?
I know you didn't want me.
Grandma came home. I got to spend a whole week with Grandma. It was great. Mom and Dad were not there. And then a week later, they came back with you.
Mm-hmm.
Total surprise.
You were 4.
Yeah. You know what? You know how devastating that is to a 4-year-old? I just had a whole week all focused on me for Grandma. And then, boom, there you are. I tried to push you off of bed.
You did.
I got a big whooping for that. Big whooping.
I don't know what that's like for somebody to come home after me.
You know what I'm saying?
After me, they stopped because they got it right.
They did stop.
They knew what they needed.
Or they got it wrong. You know what I'm saying? They're like, we can't go too much worse than this. So, yeah.
My brother,
it's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, always been the hater. He doesn't like me because I'm black and ugly as ever. I stay used to down to my socks. It's me. It's Avery and my brother over here.
Just Devon.
And we're...
Just me.
What?
I said it used to be just me. Just Devon. Okay, go ahead.
That's a good one.
Go ahead.
That's cute. This nigga's always been a hater. Y'all don't know him like I know him. He be writing and all that stuff. He seems nice.
I'm very nice.
No, you're not. He's an asshole. I get the asshole label. I just don't show up. That's my problem. And I'm not. So what we're going to do, we'll talk about what we have going on today. Look, I just want to get to it because we have the incredible voice and trombone player behind the Suffers. If you know the Suffers, they're a band that brings a sound that's impossible to put in a box. Soul, funk, rock, just straight up Houston culture, all rolled into one. The Suffers have been holding it down on stages across the country and around the world, all while staying true to who they are and where they come from. All right. Also, I mean, we have Kam Franklin with us, who is, the governor of the Texas chapter of the Recording Academy and the chapter's first diversity, equity, and inclusion ambassador as well. I mean, today we're talking about the journey in music, building a band that stands out, representing Houston on a global stage and everything that we learned or that they learned along the way. We have Kam Franklin and Michael Razo, everybody. Kam.
All right. We'll get applause.
Yeah.
We'll get applause one day.
We need
to say, well, we gotta work on that.
Give a break for it.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. How is it going?
Good.
It's going well.
All right. Also, are you still for not are you still for the Recording Academy? I know. Have you taken a step back while you work on
I have taken a step back.
Okay.
So I did 6 years full-on service as governor for the Texas chapter. Happy to have been elected and all the lessons and just experiences I got. But as my bandmate here knows, I'm getting ready to release my very first album at the end of the summer. And it is fucking crazy to try and do it as an independent artist. And you literally need every drop of your time.
Yeah.
Every moment. And if it's not kind of same dream, same team, it's just kind of a distraction at that moment.
Yeah.
And for me, for how much service I was doing between that as well as headcount.org, who I served with for 8 years, I resigned from all board service last December, everything? Yeah. Last December. And for the first time in about 8.5 years, I've been able to focus solely on my work, my projects, my creating of content, art, output, everything. And I am prepping for this release that oddly, I'm afraid because it's just terrifying to release anything like this the first time. But I also am like, well, I can't be too scared because I did this with 10 people almost 10 years ago, and that was nuts.
Yeah.
In retrospect, it was very crazy. And I'm like, okay, it's just me. Like, I'm really tripping, but it's the recovering people pleaser in me. It is the perfectionist in me. It's the Houstonian in me, the Texan in me that is like, if I don't deliver as an independent, if I don't do these things for myself, it's not what other people think. It's just that it'll make it a lot harder for me the next time I want to do it.
Absolutely.
Or I'll have to shift. Obviously, every album is a lesson and every release is a lesson, but it's just a little scary. But I feel very covered and supported and grateful to be able to do it.
That's kind of interesting that it is scary to you because you have done this with the Suffers are a large band. Like, I mean, a large band. We see people, well, we're watching like biopics of band. It'd be 4 people, 5 people. You can't get 4 or 5 people to agree on pizza toppings. Y'all are putting out work. Y'all have put out multiple albums as a group of 10 members, where and sometimes when I've seen y'all performances, it has been more than 10, and sometimes it's less.
When we're lucky, yes.
I mean, going back at the beginning of this, where y'all were first starting as Suffers, like, did you think you were gonna get here at this point? And what were y'all thoughts? Like, just first, where it's like, hey guys, we're gonna do a band, all of us are coming.
Yeah. I mean, I had no expectation. I mean, I think we're just in it to have fun and make music, and we knew each other from other groups and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. My goal was just like, hey, I'm gonna jam with my friends. Like another project, another way for me to get better at my instrument. I was just like, I'm down to hang out and jam, and it just, naturally just progressed to where it is now. So
yeah.
I was gonna say, at what point did it start to feel serious? Like at a certain point, there's gonna be like a business. See, y'all are laughing, and I know there's real stories behind this. So I'm like, there has to be a point where y'all are like, hey, we gotta sign stuff. we gotta put paperwork down. We have to,
For me, it's January 30th, 2015, when I had to quit my job because we had to go play Letterman and buy a van and make a plan. And it's not funny because it was really hard, and we were very I'm so grateful for how green we were. But how in lockstep we were. Like, we made an agreement where it was like no one in our group of friends had been where we were about to go. So no one could tell us this is the right decision or the wrong decision. Yeah. And we all had such strong support systems, the families, the wives, the children, just so many people that were like, y'all better go fucking try. You better go try at least one time. I didn't try, and this is what happened, and and like, so we're like, okay, we're just gonna try. We're gonna figure it out. And at this point, when that happened, we're maybe like 3 or 4 years in with all very serious jobs, but also none of us had any real expectation or understanding of what was to come, because we had been doing this genre of music. We hadn't called it Gulf Coast Soul just yet. We were infusing so many different styles that we loved: traditional reggae, rock steady, soul, ska, all these things. And we had never, we had all had individual success with our other bands that we were with prior to the Suffers, but like on a local level, like we could fill a room, we could all do shows together and do like amazing stuff together. But none of us had ever reached beyond, like, maybe I'd say Louisiana or Mexico or California with our other projects. Even though that was considered massive accolade, I didn't know anyone that had done late night at that point.
I was about to say, y'all get a call for
aside
David
from
Letterman.
Some of the rappers that would come into the shows.
Yeah.
And they were the first ones to really show us support. Like, the first rapper at our show, our first sold out show at Fitz, was Willie D. And he was like, I want to introduce y'all. And I was so grateful that he did that, because someone else wanted to introduce us that I really didn't fuck with. And Willie D showed up like a freaking H-Town Angel.
Yeah.
And he also still checks up on us. Like,
Yeah.
just he'll like, I guess like he'll be like, I haven't heard anything in a while. Y'all all right?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Real
yeah,
polite.
we're good. We're working on this next record. But you know, back then, aside from that, we really didn't know what to expect or what was to come. And quitting those jobs and just taking the risk with 9 other people that some of them we knew really well. Some of us knew each other for many, many years. Some of us were very new friends.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it was a extreme sociology
Yeah.
experiment that like I have written some about. I have been taking my time more to approach, but it's something that I'm gonna have to talk to them a little bit more about some of the stories because some of them are too good that you don't want to like miss parts of of them. Like, what that happened?
You want to get all sides of the
Yes,
story,
and
too.
also
all
some of them, I
9,
think,
10 sides.
absolutely, and some of the stories are so horrible and traumatic, or unfortunate that they need to be said out loud more than once
Yeah.
because we've always had this. I don't know how we ended up with such a squeaky clean image early on. Like we were getting called like a Disney band just because like we were like smiling on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
But early on we got some very old school big band recommendations from people that were like, hey, respectfully, y'all sound good, but respectfully, why y'all drunk on stage? Why this hip half of the band look good and why this half of the band look crazy? Why, and
So y'all were wilding out kind of early on.
yeah, we were wild.
Okay.
That's
okay.
why
yeah.
like,
I mean,
there's
but-
like video online of like the first show or the second show. There ain't then there's like gaps. And then and then my former manager, I think, has some still on his page where
Yeah.
he was like, this one y'all need to remember because y'all were very drunk and y'all should not be this drunk on stage again. Like I remember at one point, and also this is why you shouldn't have a fucking game on during a concert. in your
Oh
home.
yeah.
I'm like, yep, Texas fucking losing again.
Changed the
Anyway,
whole
this song is coming.
Change the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I need to be focused, and that it's just such a weird, like early goofy era, but also none of us like we were polished musicians. Like we'd all been through ringers and abusive music school and clubs and everything that you could do, but none of us had ever been forced to commit to chasing a dream
Yeah.
as an adult.
Yeah.
And I think that the best advice that we got early on was when we opened for Lionel Richie,
Yeah.
who, in my opinion, was the only qualified person to give us advice because he had been in a band our size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we opened for him at like a F1 something.
It was ACL.
Yeah, it was at the Austin City Limits, the Moody Theater in
Moody Theater.
Austin. And they have the F1 races there. I forget what time of year it is. Anyway, they always have massive, really cool concerts of all genres. And so we had the honor to be a part of that one, open for Lionel. And we're like, oh my gosh, will we get to talk to him? They're like, no, he has to go. He has to run. I don't know who let Lionel come to the show early, but he caught the show. And he comes up to us with like tears in his eyes. And he's like, don't y'all ever break up. They tried to kick me out of the Commodores. They don't know who writes anything. They don't know who does what. Y'all stay together. I don't care what happens. You stay together. And I'm like, yes, sir.
You
yes,
were just all
sir,
like,
yes, sir.
That's
And
wild.
we're
Lionel
what's
Richie saying that.
happening? And his team's like, you got to hurry up, Lionel. He's like, don't you forget what I said. And we've not seen him since. This is
No.
like 12 years ago.
He took the time out though.
He took the
Yeah.
time out.
He
knew
took
what
the
he knew
time
what's
out,
up.
but also he was so right.
Yeah.
And in the years that have since passed, we've been through so much together. New members, old members, folks evolving, right? But as the band that exists today, we have 50%, which I say 50% of our original band, which is pretty good for almost 15 years. 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
But we all have a different understanding of what can come from this now. We've done the proving of ourselves. We've done the unrealistically hard touring where you prove that not only are you a valuable asset, not only can you do a consistent show. 15 years, I've never canceled a show because of my voice. As many people ask me about all this weed I smoke, you know, have we had a cancellation? No.
Yeah.
And we have done the work to hold each other accountable, to show up even when we weren't really feeling like it, to grow and evolve our music, to work with other people, to open the door to collaboration, to remind ourselves that even though we have been making music for so long together now, that there's always space for us to grow and change it up and, just try it. Like we are literally the result of, we'll just try this real quick.
Yeah.
Rather than being combative for the sake of being combative or letting anxiety drive the car. Like if you're in the music industry, you are going to be anxious at some point. And it's all about, again, surrounding yourself with people that get it, that aren't going to judge you, that are going to push you, but not disrespect you.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's the same. So for you, I mean, was it the same for you? Was like Letterman that point where you're like, hey, we're taking this seriously? And also, did y'all say y'all got a van? Like y'all drove up to?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, hey, we're playing. This is fun. We're having a good time. David Letterman's people call. We got to go on national TV. Let's get a van. Let's road trip it up there and perform. That's a big jump.
The van came before Letterman.
Okay.
Because I want to say like maybe, was it like 6 months before when we got with Aaron?
Yeah.
So we used to have this agent named Aaron who his name's Aaron Summer, and he's now a very successful music manager. Even though he was like, I'm leaving the industry and I'm just gonna go make chocolate and have a chill life. And last I checked, I think he's on Leon Bridges' team.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
He's doing great things. And he is the reason that we had to get a van. And all of us I remember being so combative about why we needed the van, and half the band understood why we needed to get a van and half the band didn't. The half that did not understand, it was because they had very successful jobs and lives and consistency and mortgages, some of them, and homes. And it's that, I think it's our trauma giggle.
Yeah.
And so Aaron was like, y'all are gonna have to go as 10 people to these random cities for $1,000 a show at some of them, a lot of them, play for like 90 minutes to 2 hours. And these are called your anchor gigs to your bigger money gigs, or your anchor gigs. And these are the little gigs that help you get there, gas money or practice, whatever. And we're looking at each other.
We're like, what?
With like 401ks and shit. Like, the fuck you talking about? We getting in a van for $1,000 between 10 of us. How? Like, what are you talking about? And, this was a conversation for like 2 weeks. And our manager was like, y'all don't understand. Like, bands, literally fight to try to get agents like this. And we were like, we don't give a fuck. We got a job. Like, I work at Allen Center. I don't need to be. and oh my God, when we got the call, honestly, I think the reason we ended up getting the van was because
I think we knew we were going to have to tour after.
We said, let's just try it.
Yeah.
Aaron was like, bare minimum 2 weeks a year, bare minimum. But we need to prove that y'all can do shows outside of Texas. Yeah. And I think what triggered us, it was so H-Town too. He goes, if you can't prove that you're better than just tickets in Houston, you're always just going to be a Houston band.
Okay.
And it almost reset something in us. And we were like, well, what do you mean? And he was like, you at least need to go to New York City. Y'all at the bare minimum, you have to go to New York City. And we're like, no problem. We're all cocky. We're like, yeah, we'll go to New York City. Ain't nothing. And so we get the van. And the first time we go up to New York City for CMJ Festival, which was like their South by Southwest. And I think now it's it's been gone for a while, but they say they've been trying to bring it back or something like it. It was specifically meant for music press to go and discover bands during the day. And literally there was no big artists playing at CMJ. It was for emerging artists only. And so we did like 5 or 6 shows that week. It was the last show. Some like random dude, I now know his name as Ronan. And he's like, oh, I'm from The Late Show with David Letterman. I'm a junior producer. I was sent here to come listen to your band. I'm stressed out. I've been with 9 men all week. Our Airbnb had no hot water.
Oh my God.
I am losing my mind. And like just a bunch of things kept happening. And he goes, no, you know, I'm very serious. And I was like, I don't think you're serious. And he offers me a drink. And I'm like, no, you're not serious. Why are you offering me a drink? And then a part of me was like, go tell the band. Just go tell the band just in case. Because we were all irritated. At this point, everybody is frustrated. We're ready to go home to our hot water homes in Texas. And I tell them, where were we at? The Rockwell?
Yeah, the Rockwell.
Yeah,
R.I.P. Yeah.
And we do the show and everybody does a great job. And I'm like, I want to introduce y'all to this guy. He's gone. So, okay, there's that. And then we don't hear anything for 3 months. And then 3 months later, I get a call asking if someone from the Letterman show can talk to my publicist. And I said, oh, yes, I'm so sorry. I don't have her phone number on me. I'm driving. Let me call you back in like 20 minutes. And I call our former publicist, Shoshi, and I lie and I beg and I say, I lied to the people at Letterman and I said, you are our publicist. We literally only hired her for like a one-off from...
just for the New York stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is not your publicist?
No.
Not, oh, okay.
But you gonna say you don't have a publicist?
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
And I was told that they would not talk to us. They would only talk to a publicist.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I know where I'm from. You're not gonna find out. I have a publicist by the end of the day. Letterman wants to talk to me.
You need to make it happen.
Shit.
Yeah.
And so I called. I was like, I lied. And I said that you're my publicist. I am having a meltdown. I need to go back to work. They're going to call you in 15 minutes. Please. I don't know. Like, I don't even know if we can afford you, but please. And she's like, I got it, Cam. I got it. And then she calls me back and she's like, they want y'all. We're going to figure it out. And I was like, we don't have any money. And she's like, we're going to figure it out. And so we eventually gave Shoshi a lot of money.
Yeah.
Not as much money as she deserves because she was incredible. And aside from that, she eventually got us Daily Show and Tiny Desk and Kimmel and
crushed it.
She crushed it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're forever grateful to her. But yeah, that is what happened. And we ended up coming to play the show that next March of 2015. And yeah, we've been on the road ever since.
Mm-hmm.
Though this last year has been like the lightest year of touring we've ever had. And it's been kind of refreshing because we've been taking our time to finish our next album. Mm-hmm. And it also feels like we kind of earned the right to finally get to a place where we could create a little slower, where it's like, oh, play these shows, go get a little job that I don't hate, or go play some side gigs with people that you've been wanting to work with for a long time, or literally a time to go do something else, but then tap back in for this light year of shows that we're accepting. And because, we're entering our 15th year together. Next Sunday is my birthday, and it's also our anniversary. And, when I think back on it, it still feels like we're the new kids. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, but like all of us are like gray hair or like it's starting to pop through. And, the idea of completing these records and doing it the way that we want to do it is not nearly as confusing or scary or how are we going to figure this out, or how are we going to, because we have figured it out. And even when we've thought like, oh my gosh, what are we going, the universe is like, okay, here you go. Sorry guys, sorry for stressing you out. every time.
What is it like though recording? You say you're recording your solo album and the band's album as well. What's that like recording 2 albums concurrent?
So right now we're done. Right now it's like we're having, like, I want to say the next 3 months are a lot of nitpicky shit. Like Suffers nitpicking is what I like to call it, where it's like, hey, y'all got 3 months to put all your complaints in, because once we get to like October 1st, I'm not listening to y'all anymore. This is going to mixing, like whatever.
This is like the editing section.
Yeah.
Any edits? Oh, you want to redo a solo? Oh, you want to do any overdub? Oh, you want to add in? Me too, you know?
Yeah.
And so there's like maybe one extra like feature that we're adding as we get to the finish line, but recording for the Suffers next album is done. And so now we've entered like, like the beginnings of like album 5, while prepping like animated videos and hiring artists to help do these music videos, because with much less time to do and show up for videos, and because of the effort and the, you know, type of gigs we're getting now, it's like, we can do these types of videos that we've always wanted to do and have no pushback, because we're the label, and you know, like
we get to do what we want.
I mean, for y'all, is it like, I guess that's the other thing. Is it just like a majority vote when y'all are looking at things? Is it
shit don't get done that way?
Okay, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because I'm like, what is it like? Oh, hey, 6 of us said, remember we're going with it.
Like super democratic.
Oh, very. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Like you'd wait like it felt like years to get a response sometimes.
Okay.
And we'll be in the van, and I'll be texting everybody, and I still wouldn't get a response. And I'm like, dude, you're right.
You're right here.
Oh, so
but they on Instagram.
That's the tension. That's the tension.
Or they got a side chat because they mad at you for asking questions.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Cam, how do you deal with that? Because you're such a straight shooter. As much as I've paid attention to you, you don't take no shit. Like, how do you deal with this in a band?
I'll say, first of all, I used to take so much shit once upon a time. When I first got started. I used to take so much and just say, you know, I really just tried to go with the flow and be like the cool bandmate and get stuff, whatever. But it really became problematic when we were trying to get shit done, and when we were having opportunities that were beyond anything any of us had ever experienced. Like, I need you to respond in 10 minutes, or you're going to cost me and my band $10,000.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay.
You can't respond? Cool. Can we just have a joint agreement that if it is something that involves me putting money in your pocket, you just fucking trust me? If like, we could talk about all the things you don't like politically, whatever, but I need to be able to do X, Y, and Z without you needing your opinion on it. And the job I left was a job that, previous to my role, I was an executive assistant for 5 years for a massive oil and gas company. I know how to project manage like a motherfucker. I know how to book flights and not be stressed out like this. If I'm booking us rooms or us flights, I'm going to read all 1,000 reviews. I'm going to go through. I'm going to take my time. I'm cross comparing. I have everyone's, you know, everything. Is this something that I want to do forever? Not necessarily, but the rule for some of the jobs we all have is this is the role you take on until we want to pay somebody else to do it, or hey, if it means like giving one of our bandmates like an extra $100 or whatever, or something, so that they can just do that on the real. Okay, cool. Like with the team that we have, I don't serve as extreme of an admin as I once did, but I know that the first couple of years as that being my main role, it contributed so much, because a lot of bands, especially a lot of men, are very bad at responding to people. And it's not.
I'm
not
messing
on
with you.
no, but I mean,
You're right.
it's not even on
You're
a negative
completely
thing.
right. Yeah.
But when you talk about how we were all able to come together, it's also all of these people and their individual egos, their individual capabilities, all coming into one like hot pressure box of a van, and having to realize, like, if you don't get out of yourself and become for the group what's best for the group, like what do we collectively need, it becomes harmful and dangerous. And I mean, that's little things like, yo, bro, you've been driving for a while. You need to, like, we need to swap this out.
Yeah.
Or, hey, we haven't eaten in a while. We about to have a fight. Everybody needs to eat. Or these gigs are shitty. Why are we taking these types of gigs? Why are we touring so long? Why like just every little
Communication.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
who teaches that?
You're right.
Who teaches that? They teach you hustle, 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 get your money, get your bitches, get all these things, but they don't tell you go get a therapist that you actually like. Maybe consider everyone in that group getting a therapist.
I was about to say, do y'all do group therapy?
We've never done it as a group,
No.
but I think that we all have done enough self-work that
it comes together.
That when you have to communicate, boy, does it come together.
What was I don't even want to say breaking point. What was the point where you're like, all right, we got to have like an admin. We got to have a de facto kind of like person we're going to. I'm assuming that was you at that point. But
we started making more money.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
the amount of shows that we were doing, we just, you're trying to focus on being the best performer you can be every night, getting as much sleep as you can. And, just, you want someone to help out, like there's only so much you could do after a while, and with the amount of shows that we just kept saying yes to. And, but yeah.
Yeah. And at a certain point, not like, oh, we're making tons and tons of money. I think if your musical project makes over $10,000 a year, you should consider talking to an admin, whether that's a tax professional, a money professional, a lawyer, just somebody, because if you don't know every drop of where you could be getting breaks on your taxes, or where you could be qualifying for certain grants, or where you could be literally just getting money from another place that you would never know about because maybe you don't have that connection, or maybe this person that is on your team is like, oh, well, I have to go do this for my other client. I can go ahead and pitch them your stuff while I'm there, which our manager is amazing at. But it's like, you get to a point where you realize, I really can't do everything. Even if you really want to, even if you are good at everything, shit, we Geminis, I can't even tell you how many jobs that we all have individually tried to take on. And sometimes we're really good at it, but it's like, can you do it consistently? And if you're doing that one thing consistently, when are we going to get to make music again? When are we going to get to rehearse again? When are we going to get to whatever again, or play again? And the last few years, our rehearsal schedule has been kind of comical because it's not because we don't want to rehearse. It's just life's been lifing.
Yeah.
And then the derecho tore down our studio for like a good half a year.
Oh yeah.
Ridiculous. But, and so now it's been like equal parts my schedule being crap, our percussionist who also houses our studio having just as crazy of a schedule, and then all of us trying to figure out what works. However, we are now of age and of business acumen to where if it's been a minute, someone's going to be like, whoever can make it, we got to just real quick.
Yeah.
If there's somebody coming in new who is not what I would call a super shredder, like, and even the super shredders, their anxiety going to need a little rehearsal every now and then. But I will admit that I'm very quick to throw guest players to the wolves. I'm not going to give you a rehearsal unless we really need it.
Yeah.
Do we really need it? Okay, let's do it.
Like a trial by fire type thing. Like, it's
That
like,
makes sense.
get in here and do it because we did it.
Sometimes you just need to lock in.
Yeah.
But I'm saying we're so locked in that like there's certain like songs and stems that we all have that it's like you've just been in a van too long together so many years that like, all right, it's funny when we mess up sometimes that it's like, I don't even want the rehearsal. I kind of appreciated the mistake, but at the same time, I really appreciate when we get to come together so that we can mainly focus on recording and expanding the new stuff, because I mean, that's where the greatest thrill for me is. I love being able to perform the old stuff, but being able to bend creatively with this many people that have such like wide musical knowledge is why I think we've also stayed together so long. It's one thing to get the call like, hey, can you come play in this project real quick? Hey, can you come play in the studio real quick? Versus all of us, the way that we set ourselves up in the Suffers, which is also why I think it's lasted as long as it has, is the way our money is set up.
I was gonna say, like, y'all are equal, right?
We are equal.
Which is, I think that would be surprising to a lot of people, because most people would be like, oh, well, the person I see the most, the front woman or the front person, they get the most, and y'all do an even split.
We do an even split, and there are other things that, like, you know, like kind of balance it out. You know, I get to travel a lot for the band, and in part of me, like, say I'm going to the Grammys, the band has paid for like 3 trips to the Grammys for me. This year we went half on it.
Also, congratulations.
But thank you very much.
Congratulations. We'll talk about that as well. But
Thank you. I'm trying to get us one.
Yes.
But they understand that spending like $2,000 to send me off for like a week to go network when 80% of my band hates networking. Like, Razo's happy to be here. But as his dear friend, I can tell you this is not his top 10.
Thank you.
Joy.
Hey, look.
With no trombone.
As host, we can kind of tell. We was like, all right, cool. He's like, I'm here for the backup. He's like, oh man, he's a great assist.
He has the ad-libs.
He's great with the assist. He's like, yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Everybody, I think where you have that equal split, at least with money, it's like, all right, everybody gets this chance to play their individual roles, and it's like, we're all contributing to the group.
Absolutely.
Like, that's just what it is.
And sometimes, you know, it's very different for every band. Some people will be like, well, the person that writes this should get this, or the person that does this should get this, right? And I'm like, honestly, maybe in that situation I would agree. But at this point, as long as we've been together, it's kind of all come out in the wash.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more fun to win together.
Yeah.
You know, and
I also wonder about the person that writes things, because it's like, you'll hear about that with rap. It's funny. I don't know why I want to compare. I always want to compare y'all to Wu-Tang. Always.
I take that as an honor.
I always feel like it's like RZA's just like, hey, y'all, I'm the admin. And when they talk about writing, because Meth will be like, yeah, man, sometimes you're in here and you say something and somebody's like, you should say it like this. Do they get writer's credit, or do we just split? Like, it's just easier to just be like, look, we're a group. And if you want to do something different, go do your solo album.
Absolutely.
But when we come back together, we're a group. Like, we are the Wu-Tang. And is that kind of how it is for y'all? Like, yo, when we come together, we're the Sufferers. You want to go do a trombone solo album? Go do it. Go have fun.
I mean, we would support him. We would repost it and all of that. I truly look at us as a band first, but as we expand and members come in and members come out, it starts to look almost more like a collective.
Yeah.
And when you have this many of us, but because of how we've done our split, because of how we choose to perform. For example, outside of COVID, I can name maybe on my hand the number of times where I've performed Suffer songs by myself. If I go out and I'm doing, like, say y'all they did not hire me to do this. We're not making any money. But say y'all were like, oh, here's $5,000 for y'all to show up, and it's just Razo and I here today. The other members in our band would still make a cut of that $5,000.
Okay, that's all.
You know, and someone might be like, well, that's not fair, and blah 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 blah. I'll be like, yeah, well, you know, they can pay for my bag as I'm traveling. They can pay for my food, you know. But the fun balance for me is like, I do a lot of our clothing shopping. I do a lot of because I do so much of our travel planning. It's not usually a surprise unless unless where we've showed up is playing games.
Mhm.
But like, there's a lot more care and effort put into that. And I think that a lot of our members that have gone on to, other things and toured with not women, they have gotten to see the difference
I
of,
bet there's a huge difference.
you know what? And that's all I can say about that.
Yeah.
There's certain things that I personally can't tolerate. There's certain things that they definitely can't tolerate. And we've had to grow, not just in the love of this, but truly in the respect of this. Like, you're not by yourself when you're doing this. You're whatever you're doing, you're at home or whatever. You've joined whatever the hell this is, and you're showing up so that we can put on this job, this dream job that we all agreed. Because that's it's like, you made me leave my job. No, it's like, no, we all agreed to do this and take this
You
risk.
decided to leave your job.
Yeah, exactly. And it's now paid off in ways that we couldn't even think of.
Yeah.
And as we get older and new people start to discover the music, or new TV shows pick up the songs and put them in placements that we would have never expected, it allows us to keep doing what we love, but almost as a like, the universe being like, I put y'all through a lot of shit. Here you go. Here's a little sugar.
Have y'all ever been surprised by like a placement where like you're like, I would have never expected, or somebody calls you up like, yo, I heard your song in the back of, I don't know,
Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
Mr. Robot.
That was surprising.
Well, I was already watching the show before we even got asked for our song to be put in it. So I was already a fan. And then when I heard about it, I was like, no way, are you serious? And I was like, I love that show. And then, and then so when I didn't know, I think we talked about where it was going to be in the episode. I think it was second season or something. And, but I felt like the Leonardo DiCaprio gif when it came, like the song came on, I was like
that's me. And it was a good season. Further it goes, But still, I'm like, season 2 is great.
Yeah, I think that one is like has been probably the most impactful in terms of like people. It's one of those shows people always kind of, I just started this, whatever. But we have a lot of comedian fans that we love and friends that we love. And it's been cool to see how they incorporate the music into their shows as well. And so we've had songs on Detroiters and Flatbush Misdemeanors. And I think the most recent one was Bel Air. And, the new, and that one, led, I think it was played during a wedding scene or something. And so we have this new round of folks finding us.
That's huge.
Absolutely. Which, I mean, I'm grateful for. And it just, again, it's what we did this for. The dream was like, oh, it'd be cool, if we could get a little mailbox money or whatever. And now it's like, oh, yeah, all those annoying paperwork things that we had to do, all of the stuff that we have every year, it's all so that this can be a lot more smooth sailing. And so I've been joking with the band that this is my year of hard admin for us since we're not on the road. And so I've just been like going into like our masters and our like, this song ain't right and this needs to be here. And it has been horrible and annoying, but I keep telling myself, if I do this right now, then 15 years from now, I won't think about it at all. So
if I had a band, I'd love a bandmate like you because the care. You got to be hard on people in order for you to get the results you want. In order for you to move ahead.
Yeah,
what is
it? Project
you
for
said
sure.
What?
You have that. It's me.
I know.
So you have that.
That's right here.
But we're not a band. Anyway,
we're a duo.
We are a duo. That's another thing with you doing the traveling, which I imagine not just with you being a woman, with you going, hey, I'm staying here.
Yeah.
I need to make sure because if you have an agent, they're like, Holiday Inn over there.
Barely Holiday Inn. They'll be like, hey, man, that little motel.
All Holiday Inns are not created equal.
Yeah, they're not.
Some of them are lovely.
I'm a big fan that I've been to that are
fantastic.
The one down the street from you?
Yes.
A1.
Yeah.
Holiday Inn.
The
I'm
Town
a
Lake
big
one in
fan of
Austin
Marriott.
downtown. That one's a sleeper.
Yeah,
Hey,
see?
one, well, A2.
Free
But-
parking. Free parking in downtown
Yes.
See, look at that.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
is, see, that right there. That tiny thing that people don't realize. Because I got to
Yeah.
travel with my girlfriend, and I'll be like, free parking, bro. Like,
You can walk to
You-
6.
yeah,
It's
you
like
gotta think
everything's
ahead.
there.
for
Yeah.
free. Because I'm like, I'm not paying $35
I
No.
think you're just stuck there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, every day?
every
Like,
day.
Yeah, every day.
Every day.
$50. Just go
Every
and
day.
lay that down.
That's
I'm like,
sad.
okay.
Just for you to go right there.
Yeah. For you guys, as a group, when you're like, okay, it's time to make a new album. Like, how does that come about? Does one of you just call up like, yo, I got the bug, I got this idea, I'm feeling it? Is it like on a time schedule where you're like, hey, it's album time. Like, we got to get back into it. It's November 1st. It's time to start writing again. Or is it literally like, hey man, I got this idea for a song, and it kind of spirals out?
It's usually like that. I feel
Yeah.
like, some of the guys, they'll write their own stuff, like they'll put something together, like using GarageBand or whatever they're using, Logic, and then they'll be like, hey, I'm messing with this. And then they'll either email it to, or we have a group chat that we talk, and they'll put it on there. And some of us will listen to it next time we're together, or during sound check, we'll just like mess with it, because that's the time we finally get to.
We also keep a lot of spreadsheets of demos. If I'm updating demos, I'll be like, this is the most updated one, or here's this. And then our keyboardist, Ed, Black Nintendo, literal computer scientist, he'll take what I did, and then he'll like put it into this thing and make it this like beautiful portal. Talk about a good bandmate, right? This little platform, and we'll vote on the songs and go through them, and we're hypercritical. And I think for this record that we're wrapping up right now, it hasn't taken as long as it feels. For me, everything feels like forever, because I just won't be wanting to release everything all the time. But I understand why we take our time and album cycles and whatever. But this one has felt a little bit longer because some of the songs were written during COVID. Some of them were written to, I feel like, keep the band alive. We have a song called "It Starts with Love" that's like literally the title track of this last album, and this next album, which is called "It Ends with Love." The it being your reason for doing anything creative, because you love it. Why do you show up? Why do we continue to show up doing this when we know how hard it is? And it's because we love it. And some of these songs we've been working on for 7 years plus. And there's others where it's like they just came in, but it's like, all right. And when we first started cutting everything down, we got to about maybe 40 songs. And as I've been watching them go away, and we're at this point now where we're at like about, I want to say 11 or 12 songs for this next one. I'm so proud of us because we've been so critical, because, in an era where everything is like, fast delivery, go put this prompt here or whatever, I appreciate critical listening. And, challenging my bandmates to be like, well, how are you feeling when you did that solo? Razo already knows if he looks like he's not feeling it, I'm going to be like, all right, this was great. And then 2 weeks later, how are you feeling? He would come back.
Makes sense.
He would come back to the studio.
Play totally different.
Yeah.
But also, like, I believe in affirmative and positive reinforcement when we do knock it out of the park, because we were, that first album, Jesus Christ, we were at one point in our career almost like overly critical, to where I would worry if things would ever get done. And then our second album, which I have grown to appreciate in a very different way, sometimes felt rushed, because we had a label partner that had one expectation of us, and we were over here like, what do you mean what? What do you mean this dude?
Yeah.
And where are you? And why aren't you showing up the way that you said you would?
Yeah.
And, it was a big wake up call for us of, no one's going to come and save you. even if they are contractually obligated to do so. And this last album we put out is, I am so proud of us, and it is my favorite work that we've released so far. And I think it's because it's not only the first album we did after COVID, but because it was so hard to do. And this record has been the opposite, where it's just been like, oh, we get together, like, ooh, in the room together, because we really didn't get to do it like that on our last album because of COVID.
Yeah.
We were not in no cube. I was watching all these bands. They're like, yeah, we're gonna go into a cube together and just finish the album. And I'm like,
and fuck your cube too.
fuck you and your all
Like
jealous, like I miss my band.
Like the NBA bubble.
But I also though, we weren't being selfish, because honestly, if we had all come together, we would have fucking created a whole new strain.
Yeah, I know,
So many
right?
of us.
I'm about to say it's 10 of y'all coming from all
They
over.
would have been like, we don't know where this started.
They would have named a variant after y'all.
Yeah.
truly,
I'm like,
with that
I gotta go get a
band
shot
name.
for the
Oh my
Suffers.
God.
Wow, that is true. With that name,
With that,
too.
and the Suffers.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, did you get the
Man.
Suffers?
We already get yelled at because people with dyslexia that mean to text at the Duffers, the Stranger Things directors,
Yeah.
they be texting at us. Or not texting, threading, or tweeting at us. Like, y'all stupid Suffers, you know you could have made a better ending for this. And I hadn't like watched the Stranger Things finale, but yeah, that like we already get that grief. We don't need anymore.
You got to start responding.
Like,
You'd have been
when
like,
is the
yeah,
next
guys,
season coming out?
we dropped the ball on that. I'm really sorry about that. Our apologies.
It's crazy.
Like,
It's crazy.
You saw it.
To make up for it, you should listen to this album.
Yeah. And then I had to go to the
I got a
keyboard
song
like,
for
are
you.
DNS that close? It's fine.
They're pretty close.
They are.
Yeah, just start responding.
Yeah.
And definitely do the makeup for the
ASD,
album.
yeah.
They're like, I'm really sorry about that. We just got a big budget. They wanted a huge spider in there. We did it, but like, listen to this album.
Listen
It
to
makes
this
us feel
album.
better.
Honestly, they got that new show. They could have put a song in there.
They could have.
Sorry.
They
Miss
could have.
Opportunity.
The new Cocoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Barbara's like, yo, watch it. It's like Cocoon. I said, okay, you got me. I'll take a look.
I gotta go finish. I started the first part.
Alfred Woodard's in it, so whatever she
That
says,
is
Yes.
I'm
old
gonna
reference.
watch
Yes.
it. I'm gonna watch
Cocoon.
it.
Cocoon?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was even
Very
old for us.
specific.
I'm old, man. I'm
Very,
old.
very specific.
But Alfred Woodard, I understand. Her CCH Pounder,
Yeah, when
I'll
she's
watch
in it.
anything they're in.
You know, also for you when we're talking about like just the different projects, because I feel like you like group projects. I don't know. You've got Bayou City Comeback Chorus.
Yes.
You've got your the big celebration you do each year with the group. I found somebody new to listen to that album that you produced
Thank
and went on ahead and bought that. And then you've got the stuff with the Suffers. You've also got the solo. How do you decide where stuff goes? I mean, you know what? Also, this is a question for you. As a bandmate, are you ever listening to a song and you're like, oh, we should have got that one? Like, I said, would you
All the
would
time.
you
Not
bring
like-
that one over there for? You could have done this one with us. Like, how do you decide where stuff goes?
I feel like the Suffers, for as real and as authentic as we are tone wise, it is all about tonality to me. Like how we make people feel there's a bit of relief and happiness and joy that comes from this. And the stuff on my solo project is heavy, very, very heavy, and confrontational in terms of the topics we're talking about. Religious trauma, sexual abuse, lust, love, all these things. But for the other projects, it becomes more about the mission. So for Bayou City Comeback Chorus, it initially was about community building, and then COVID happened. And I had to get real creative with people that were working afar, like how we were. But then it was about proving that I was capable of production. And I have a friend she's based in Nashville, named Nicole Atkins, longtime friend of the band, who incredible singer, incredible producer. If you've never heard of Nicole Atkins, I highly recommend you read How Music Works by David Byrne. He tells an incredible story about Nicole Atkins and Rick Rubin, who produced her first album, and how he basically fumbled her release. And I say this because Nicole, this was almost 20 years ago, and Nicole has continued to bounce back and just like reinvent herself and reemerge as an artist, independent artist, sometimes partnering with labels, and has truly shown me what is possible. But she also taught me that if you don't call yourself a producer on these projects, someone's going to take it away from you if you're actually doing that work. There's a big difference between I'm running the boards and I'm engineering versus I am bringing this album to the finish line. And for Bayou City Comeback Chorus, I did a little bit of everything. For this last Suffers album, I did a little bit of everything. But why I asked the band if I could take that chair on was because I knew how hard it was going to be to do the shit remotely. And I knew how to say everyone's nervous systems and mental health were wrecked is being like light about it. Like, we're very open about our personal struggles with each other. And I've been talking to the band about how we're going to have to share a lot more eventually. So people don't just think it's all, you know, wins and happy-go-lucky shit over here.
Yeah.
But Nicole taught me, if you do not take the bull by the horns, you're not going to get that production credit. And so because I had the time and because I had applied for a few grants and I was like, okay, we're going to be in the house for how long? They said at least 6 months. I said, all right, I guess I have time to pick up a skill. We all have time to pick up a skill. And so the Suffers, we all made sure that we had some type of like computer recording setup. If you didn't have a mic, if you didn't have an interface, we made sure you got a Focusrite. We made sure you got a setup. Somebody in the band, basically everybody got like a buddy in the band that was like there. Do you have what you need? Blah, 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 blah. And if they couldn't do it at the studio during our individual sessions that were like 2 weeks, take a test, 2 weeks, take a test, they did it at home. And during this period of time, it became, okay, well, what else can we do? What other skills can we bring? Can we record ourselves? Can we film ourselves? Okay, I'm doing a lot of this. All right. Then I end up running out of money at the end of my album cycle because I was like, all right, well, what all can I spend it on? I think I put money towards Supper's record. I put money towards my record. I put money towards Bayou City. And at the very end, they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to have to get more aggressive with these lockdowns. I just spent hours and hours and hours finishing my choirs for both Suffers and myself.
Okay.
And when it was all said and done, it was about 3.5 years of work. And the band was like, yeah, girl, take it.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we listened to the record and, I'm just like, man, because, I know how critical they all are. I know how critical we all are. And I'm like, okay, if they hate it, we got to start over again. And, they're listening to it. And there's like maybe 1 or 2 songs where they were like, nah, all right. No, this is good. No, this is good. This is good. This is good. And to date, it's now become our most critically successful record. Our first record is our highest selling one. And, to now step into this next chapter with our 4th record coming to finish line, I feel lighter than ever in terms of previous release cycles because it doesn't feel like there's anything necessarily there that we need to prove as much as we just need to be finishing and being consistent and doing the things that we said that we want to do, whether that's, releasing more records, releasing live things, whatever. And, as hard as it is sometimes to just do the thing, that's really the sauce, is just to continue doing the thing until it's time for you to be called up.
Okay.
That's powerful.
I mean, not just when we're talking about like with the Suffers, Bayou City Comeback Chorus, like the projects we've been naming, you're kind of you're in an administrative role. There's also, I mean, this last win for the Grammys, which I'm going to call it a win.
It is a win.
I'm calling it a Grammy.
I am a Grammy-winning singer.
Okay, so talk about, you know, just the lead up of that, being a part of this project and then getting the chance to go on the let's say forcing a chance to go up on that Grammy.
I say both. I say both.
Okay.
I say both.
Okay.
Because getting a chance is Steve Berlin from Los Lobos giving me the call, and people with there was obviously the Houston connection from the jump, but Alan from the Alan Oldies band and Big Top just making connections with me, and this guy Jacob from Valcor Records and the Clifton Chenier Foundation that put all of this together. I got the call. They asked me if I knew a soprano, and I was like, yeah, my friend AJ from Seratones. Also, she's from Louisiana. We keep talking about wanting to do something together, and they added Roddy Romero on the accordion, and that part of our contribution to it is history. And shout out to my bandmate Choppy for recording me last minute because my shit was broken that day. And so I say he's a Grammy-winning engineer now as well. But yeah, the moment at the Grammys came the day before the show where I finally met a bunch of the people that had contributed to the album as well. And they were like, okay, well, you know, it's various artists. If we win, we're coming up. me and AJ, and they're like, yeah. You know, kind of like, we're not going to win.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had been pissed off by a lot of people that
y'all
day.
are also going against some powerhouse.
Of course.
People. Yeah. This was a loaded category.
They are, I mean, it was Preservation Hall, Trombone Shorty, like incredible artists that you're just like, what?
Rebirth.
What? Yeah, I mean, just crazy, crazy. And
you said you had been mad that day?
I got very angry that day just from people treating me like garbage. And I just made a decision that I was not going to be treated like garbage anymore that weekend, and told AJ, I was like, we're not going to be treated like garbage no more this weekend. I've claimed
you felt like it was your no, you felt like you were getting treated by garbage just by like, it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, we're like, y'all are not going to win, or y'all are not like,
no, not by anybody in our category.
Okay.
No one in the category. Everybody was very high vibrational.
But outside
people that had
of
no business even talking any type of noise to us, or to me directly, had been yapping.
Okay.
And also folks that, you know, the Grammys have all these very particular rules. And I had people that were like, you're not technically nominated for a Grammy because it's various artists and you're a featured singer, but it's various artists. So the people who get the award, the people who get the awards are the producer and the engineer. And everybody else,
various artists.
Everybody else gets a certificate. So me, Charlie Crockett, Rolling Stones, we're all getting certificates, which is beautiful and wonderful, and does not negate my contribution at all. Because it's very hilarious to hear the argument of what I am not when I know what I did.
Yeah.
And I know what I sound like. And so,
especially when you sang on the song.
And
also, not only that,
so when we got the call. When they said the names, I looked at AJ. I was like, all right, here we go. And she's like, and I said, bitch, let's go.
And y'all went on the stage.
Yes, we did. And
what was that feeling like?
It was great. And, you know, it was even better to go backstage and say hello to some of the people that tried to give me information that was incorrect to my spirit.
Yeah.
That is, she said, that's the nicest way to say they gave me their ass to kiss. that is, you're so on it.
I've had to learn to just chill out and let the universe take care of me, because while yes, I can advocate for myself, for my band, I have complete qualification to do that now. I don't always have to do anything.
Pick your battles,
Oh, it's getting nicer. I think the older I get, the less I will be engaging.
It's good to have that engaging spirit, though. It's made you go far. That's what I do with us.
Thank you. Oh.
He's that guy. He's the guy that does that for our group. But it's great. It's great.
It's funny.
No, and I mean, the other thing too is like, you're a part of an album that's honoring the King of Zydeco that got a lot more recognition post his life by these organizations, where you're also like, you almost got to be like, dog, I was him the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was him the whole time I was living. Even when y'all was like, no, I don't know. You're not in the right category. And it's like, no, but I'm him. I a whole genre.
Absolutely.
That's all me. You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
Oof, it was kind of like crazy and very just like almost spiritual to it, because it's like a Texas Louisiana win at this point.
Yeah.
And when you think back to the same video keeps popping up where most people tag Lightning Hopkins playing in Fourth Ward, down the street, and it's him and a bunch of black folks and kids, and they're dancing and they're having fun. And it comes up every now and then on like We Are Grits or Jazz USA, but it's also Clifton Chenier in that same video. And like, I'm hearing more and more information as I get older and I start doing more stuff with these legacy artists. I've had the honor to do stuff with the King of Zydeco folks, but also the folks at Antone's have included me on this like next level. To call it a collective, I feel like it's close to what it is, but it's almost like being in a band with people that are like passing the torch in real time. And so when we get everybody together, it's Bobby Blue Bland, and not Bobby Blue Bland, Bobby Blue Bland's son, my cousin, Rod Bland, Bobby Rush, Jimmy Vaughn, Sue Foley, and all of these incredible musicians that have helped shape the foundation of Antone's and the blues legacy in Austin.
Wait, I'm sorry. Your cousin is Bobby Blue Bland's son?
It was like a casual.
Your uncle's Bobby Blue Bland?
Say what?
Yeah, your uncle's Bobby.
My cousin.
Your
like
cousin.
He was like a third cousin.
Okay.
I mean, but that's
so
still
it would
relative.
always get brought up when he would come down to the funerals. When I was a little girl, my grandma would be like, "Bro, Bobby's coming through again. That's blah blah blah." And I'd be like, "Okay, cool." But you hear something like this from an elder, but you don't think anything about it when you're like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then when I started working on this project, they put me and Rod together on a song, and I started talking to him, and I'm like, "I'm pretty sure we're related." And he's like, "Oh wow, yeah." And so we did our first show in Memphis. Like 2-3 weeks ago for the Week of the Blues Awards there.
Yeah.
And we played at Hernando's Hideaway, which is this legendary club there. And his mom comes to the show and all of his friends, and we're there. It's us and who else is playing on the show? John Primer and Steve Bell, and just an incredible, incredible band that the folks at Antone's put together. But all of this just Memphis legacy and blues royalty coming through to support what we're doing. And so to be able to do these shows with them on top of everything with the band, it all is connected. And so when I first started like kind of tapping my toe out, the band is in the Suffers. At first I was like, man, I hope that, they don't get discouraged or like jealous that I'm out here doing this other shit. And I think my bandmate Nick, our drummer, put it best, where he was like, no one should give a fuck when you do anything and we get to go home with our wives while you basically go make us mailbox money. Because this is literally all that it is
promotion.
Yes.
Yeah.
While the band doesn't own my solo record, me going out on the road, well, tell us about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the last 15 years I've been with these motherfuckers in a band, and so it begins a whole story, and one that I'm really grateful for, but also like it's just like another arm. And so when you ask like where the music goes, how do I choose? I feel like they just naturally fall in place. Though my band, I'm so grateful for, if they don't like something, they are quick to tell you that it just is not doing it for them. And I think that to have a group of people or someone in your life where it's not necessarily they're your biggest hater, but they are not afraid to critique you for real
Yeah.
because they want to see you do better.
Yeah.
Right? You're
That's
maybe
important.
I'm sure like y'all have this set up in here now, but I'm sure when you first got started, somebody was probably like, y'all got to change this mic up, or y'all need to
Yeah,
like get another
absolutely.
angle, or maybe consider getting some help,
Yeah.
and it just adds when you have someone that cares about you, that can tell you, I love what you're doing, but I love what you're doing, but blah, 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 blah. And yeah. And not like 5 years later, like, you're good, but
You
last
shoulda
time I
done- you
saw
shoulda
you,
done
you
this."
sounded like
Yeah.
shit or whatever.
Yeah.
It's important to have those uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
That's what we get ahead.
Are they ever like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is great. You should
Yeah.
save that for your solo album. Like,
Yeah.
They'll tell you at the
Like-
most inopportune time.
Yeah.
Fixing to go on stage. They're like, you should have really did.
I
Bro,
don't know if we should
relax.
have that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, I mean, even the work on, I mean, okay, so now we can talk about the solo album where you raised, I would say, a significant amount of money to start the solo album.
Yeah.
I think when I talked to you separately, you were like, it was, and
Yep.
not enough.
Definitely not enough.
Not enough.
And
And also, how much was that amount there? 20?
20K public facing.
20K public facing.
So what
Okay.
Kickstarter doesn't do is it'll show you the win.
Okay.
It doesn't show you people who canceled their
Oh
things.
my goodness.
It doesn't show you scammers who whatever. It doesn't show you the people who maybe they had financial issue and like it just didn't charge their card or whatever.
Okay.
And so public facing 20. What I received 16.
Wow.
So to pull $4,000 out of your ass when you were already raising money, it's like,
Okay.
beggars can't be choosers, but a bitch has been working because there's no guarantee. And we did a Kickstarter for our first record. And thankfully, like I knew a little bit of what to expect. And I knew that there is no guarantee in this. But between that, additional work, applying for grants, continuing to just show up and say yes. I'm on my final vinyl payment and my shit should be coming. Now, where the rest of the money's coming from, who knows? But
The universe
Yeah.
will take care of it.
Yes.
They'll
that,
figure it out.
and so I've had to just be like, I don't care. I just gotta finish my work.
Do the
and
thing.
Do my thing.
Do the thing.
And, for people that there are so many artists. I mean, particularly we talk about like Houston infrastructure and the artist things that are building out.
Sure.
20K to release an album for artists of your stature, and you're like, yo, that is still not enough. I mean, talk
No.
about where a lot of that money is going to, because a lot of people are like, yo, I recorded in my bedroom. We good to go. We
Oh,
good
yeah.
to go.
Mike is
Oh,
outside.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So 20K, first of all, let's go back a few steps. This is so that I can release it on physical, both vinyl and CD,
Yes.
and have the supply necessary to tour with. Because most major labels, when you are signing a deal with them in terms of distribution or an album deal, usually your physical part, that money is paid for by them. I am doing something different, and so I'm taking on the risk myself. The benefit of it is that I get to own everything when it's
Mhm.
done, so whatever. But the front end is the stressful part. And so where does the money go? Well, the first 8,000 went back to the folks that were owed on the mixing and mastering side and the little bits of the recording side that were left. Right now, it's 4 months, 3, 6, 9, 12. 12,000 is going to my publicist and distributor. So what are we at? We're at
You said
14
8,000
we're
and
at
12,000?
Yeah, so
8,000
how
to
much
12,
I've
we're
already
at
spent
20.
it all.
That's 20,000?
We're at
Already
20.
spent it out.
Also, remember,
Um,
she pulled in 16 posts.
Yeah.
So,
you're-
Yeah.
okay.
An additional
red for it.
3,500 will go to my radio marketing team, my
Okay.
non-com team, and that's like
70.
favors.
Yeah.
Favors, people doing me favors. My music videos are friends doing me favors.
Okay.
A lot of my art has been favors. My album photo paid for 2 years prior. A lot of my stuff I paid over the course of 2-3 years. And now it's time for, it to finally start coming out. Because I was forced to learn dystopian electric skills and content creating skills. I've done a lot of my lyric videos. My partner does a lot of my video and helps me with that, and poster creation. And then, I just have a lot of people who fuck with me who are like, here, girl, let me just help you out. Let me help you out. I can do this. Maybe I can't give you $1, but I can draw you something badass. Maybe I can't do this, but I can barter something for you. I can whatever. And so it's been a lot of saying yes to the help and kind of just letting it do what it do.
That's a lot. I think because most people don't have the expectation that I just don't think people understand how much albums cost. They don't understand the process.
Well, I think it's just the return also. So I'm, going pretty low in my order.
Yeah.
And, I think I'm at either 500 or 750 in terms of my order. And that's going to be about, the second payment is like 1,900. The first one was, I think, also 19. So, almost $4,000.
Yeah.
But that 500, 750, you can sell each individual unit minimum $40.
Yeah.
750 times 40. Don't make me do it.
Siri.
I mean, it also shows the importance of physical media.
Absolutely. And that's just on the vinyl side.
Yeah.
CDs are cheaper, but you can sell them for
God damn,
$12,000 to
$30,000. Oh, you were doing the calculation?
Yeah.
Look, I think it is a
Let's thank
big
you for the
thing.
CDs because I buy CDs. He buys vinyl.
I buy vinyl.
But I think
I already
both
bought
are
vinyl.
important.
Yeah.
I think physical media of all types are coming back because people are sick of subscriptions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been considering what would it look like for us to do limited round of DVDs or VHSs for people that are like, oh, I got that.
Yeah, I got a VHS
I think
too,
about
so.
I think
I
about
want
that
DVDs
as the
and all
same
that stuff.
Say what?
I want DVDs and all. You just know. I've been telling people all the time, if you like a show that is on streaming and it's only on streaming, it's just a matter of time before it's not on streaming.
Mhm.
It is only on streaming for as popular as that show is, as the streamer's okay, this is worth it for us to put on and pay for the gigabytes and all this stuff this will take up. But one day you are going to want to watch that show like we do sometimes.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I want to show it to my kid, or I want to show it to my girl. I want to show this. And there are shows that I've definitely tweeted at HBO, yo, put Southside on DVD.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm surprised that's not on there.
Not all of the seasons.
Okay.
Season 1, I think 1 and 2 were on DVD. There are certain shows, I don't think all the seasons of Atlanta are on
They're
DVD.
not the first 2 seasons.
The
Rock.
He likes Rock.
I love that show.
I found a
ROC
bootlegger,
Rock?
ROC Rock.
Charles S. Dutton. Yes.
I
love it.
Here's the funny thing.
Specific.
You mention Rock to people now, and it's kind of a distant memory, if that. People are oh, I don't know anything about that show. And I'm like, yo, Rock fought Clifton Powell on that.
Yes.
Clifton Powell was a drug dealer on that show. I
man.
said, you don't get a chance to see this. This is one of the shows that helped launch Fox. I found a bootlegger online that put them on DVD.
Oh my God.
And so that's how he got the
You gave me that
DVDs.
for one of
Plus
our
the bootleggers.
But my thing is, I'm like, just sell the stuff, because one day, again, you can't, it's hard to find things like that online. And then I'm like,
so many songs.
I try to tell people, especially for younger people, it's not long before your stuff is old.
Yeah, truly.
It's not long.
Truly.
20 years and you're
I think we're at the age where we're just now everybody's making us feel old.
Yeah.
Very.
It's funny. It's funny to watch.
It takes no time whatsoever. So it's 20 years, and it's from 20 to 40, and then some kids I don't know about that.
Yeah.
You're I don't know about that. I don't care about that.
Our producer's 23.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
And you mention stuff, and you're oh, you never heard that, and it's oh, I'm
then
I never hear
your
that.
job to educate him.
That's true.
And expand his mind and listen to him so you can expand your mind.
And it's
he just asked us
Uh-oh.
What was it? Was it like this when Michael Jordan played?
He did.
God
He did.
damn, nigga.
He did. He did.
Like the
ask that.
electricity?
Yeah.
Like the electricity of the
Yeah.
tone?
It's
I'm
like,
like,
I remember
golly.
Michael Jordan like this. I was like,
But like, sir,
But-
there's been no comparison since.
yeah. But I also feel
You
like
don't
it's
know
like,
that when you're young. It's just
Yeah.
like when my parents were
Yeah.
we had a debate when I was younger with my parents. I was like, MC Hammer is the shit. And my mom was like, but Michael Jackson, though. I was like, fuck Michael Jackson. MC Hammer is the shit.
Like, have you seen these pants?
yeah.
Obviously, I
like-
was wrong.
But you
still.
know that kind of stuff, like as time fades, things just go. Like I know when our uncles were arguing us about like Michael Jordan, like y'all ain't never seen Dr. J, and I'm like, no,
Yep.
no, I haven't.
We haven't.
Like now they were haters because I can admit LeBron James is truly incredible.
He's
like I'm like that
incredible.
man is fantastic.
You
but
think he's better than Michael?
yes,
You think he's better than Kobe?
yes,
I agree with you too. I just like messing
yes.
with
He
you.
took really.
I
bad
will say
teams.
that I agree with you, but I will say that the energy has never been of comparison for anything that he's done.
no,
Yeah.
Like, I don't
No.
remember Michael
Shoot.
Jordan having this many haters.
Uh,
And
yeah, oh yeah.
it's
I-
like, even if you wanted to hate, it's like, man,
I think
fuck you, Michael.
the
It wasn't-
internet,
it wasn't
the
as-
internet makes these kind of changes because I'm also like, you don't without Dr. J, you don't get Michael Jordan. Without Michael Jordan, you don't get LeBron
Yeah.
You don't get
and Kobe. Also, nobody was out here dunking on people and shaking them listening to Anita Baker. Like that's an incredible player,
That
man.
was Michael
Do you
Jordan.
know how mad I would be if somebody shook me and they was like just singing, giving you the best that I got?
I'm
I
saying.
feel like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
And the shoes, man, still to this
Yeah.
day.
shoes. But the thing is, as those things go away, like if you don't have physical media,
Yeah.
it just goes away. And you're just kind of like, oh, like I didn't know about that thing
Yeah.
at all. So we don't get a chance to share with the 23-year-olds. Like,
Mhm.
hey man, listen to this.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I personally have been trying to get off of my phone a lot more. Like, I can schedule my
Same.
stuff, I can post our stuff, like, and then get off of here and go back to my instrument or finish this show that I said I was gonna finish
Mhm.
watching from whatever, and give myself that my brain that escapism that it so desperately needs, because things are very intense right now. And it's like, okay, do I want to watch what everybody else is watching? Do I want to be a part of this pop culture moment right this
Yeah.
second? Sure, sometimes. Sure. Sometimes. But sometimes I want to go back 20, 30 years and see what might be inspiring all of this, or
Yeah.
see what TV was like before some of this got as crazy as it is. And so, you talk about HBO, I went back to the old school HBO and watched all of Oz all over again.
Yes.
And
I'm still scared of Adebisi to this day.
do you watch Euphoria?
No.
Oh yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
He's on this new season.
What?
Yeah.
Adebisi?
And he is a bad boy.
With the hat?
He's a bad boy.
What?
And he has hair.
And he has hair?
He has hair.
That doesn't make any sense.
He is honestly, he is such a good actor.
He's such
He
a
is.
good actor.
He is
somehow,
such a good actor.
Everybody
somehow
was.
he is just as terrifying as
Yeah.
he's everywhere.
Stretch was terrifying on there. The dude
Yeah.
who played Bodie on The Wire was terrifying. I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, Bodie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
that
I
was
also
such a
finished
sad
The
scene.
Wire
Yeah.
this
Oh,
last
my
year
God.
or
That's
two.
his favorite show.
Oh,
so.
Wire
man.
Wire is my absolute favorite show.
It
But I
was-
also think those are shows that will go. I have The Wire on DVD.
Yeah.
But I
Yes.
do feel like I'm like, one day HBO is just going to be like, yeah, it's not worth it to us to have it streaming,
Yeah.
because they do it all the time.
Or they'll make it more inaccessible. HBO Premium, you get
Oh,
access to the
my
HBO
God.
Oh, they cut
Classic.
out cut
Ah.
out certain things or scenes. He's been on this kick, honestly, since about 2012, 2013. He told me about physical media when I was like, everything's on streaming. And then Disney Plus gets The Simpsons. And they took away the Michael Jackson
did.
episode.
They did.
Oh.
They took out the
He
Michael
has
Jackson
the
episode.
DVD.
Yeah.
And I called him and I was like, bro, you were right. So it's like, yeah, we appreciate
And you're
you
at
for
the
doing it.
whims of
It took it
like
away.
the whims of just what people are feeling like at the time. And I'm like, I totally understand like the climate can change on people and things like that. But I'm always like, look, art was created and art existed, and art is always going to be a conversation.
Mhm.
So it's
Absolutely.
like, don't take away the fact to have the conversation. We can say, hey, this is bad or this is good, but we don't know what we're going to be saying in 20, 30 years.
And if you're going to do it for that, you're going to have to do it for
everything.
All of your problematic. They got a lot.
And also, it's
gotta take
funny.
away Elvis. We're talking
well,
about.
no,
it.
I was talking
take
to my cousins, and they're looking at some of the older media. Like, they'll look at like some 80s comedies, most 80s comedies. You show them to like a 16-year-old kid, and they're like, "This is like crime." Yeah. And I'm like, "This is like a teenage movie. Like, why?
Our sexual
why are they
harassment
just committing crime?" And I was just like, you know what?
So much sexual harassment.
You show Porky's to a kid now, and they're like, "This is what they was watching."
That's a crime, bro.
Like, I don't understand. And they're like, "This was funny,
bro."
And I'm like, you know what? It's not now.
Saved by the Bell was sexual harassment. I went back and watched it, and I was like, "Well, you just went up and kissed that girl?"
It's a lot of it,
bro.
It's a lot of it.
Yeah.
And people just kind of went with it. But that's a good thing to be like, have the art there and let people get judged for it. You see older people like, "Nah, man, it was a different time." And
I mean,
it's like,
some shows
"Nah, you're weird."
differently.
Yeah.
Some age pretty tough. Like, I just went back and finished Living Single again. And I was like, man, considering the time and era that it came in, I'd say maybe 95% of the jokes aged pretty well.
Pretty gracefully.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also worth the rewatch because I forgot so many like people getting their start were on that show.
Yeah.
Like an early Will Ferrell just doing some weird shit on one of the episodes.
That's also one of the funniest jokes where they said they were going to name their kid Sin Cloverton and hands down.
That's funny.
Sin Cloverton was what it took me so off guard. It takes me off guard every time I see that episode. I was like, yo, so those are the things. But yeah, it's important to physical media. The other thing too is like, just like now where you broke down the numbers, I think it is another thing too where you have so many artists that are used to the idea of the numbers and what they mean in terms of streaming. And we've equated it to that. And then they're like, wait a minute, 750 albums is how much? You're like that's a real career when you're selling things physical, as opposed to like streaming is great. It's like, wow, 1 million people heard my song, and the label or the streaming service is like, and here is your $200.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a big reason why a lot of artists that weren't doing physical at all are doing physical now. Like when you go to their shows, it's, like they're making the purchase of merch sound sexy.
Yes.
Oh, merch drop, premium merch drop, blah, 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 blah.
Limited time only.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and like their numbers are numbers you wouldn't even believe. I heard alleged numbers from a well-known Canadian rapper and his merch, and I was like, how many million a day?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that's just for an event where he wasn't even present.
That's
huge. But it's
that's not even anything when you compare it to Beyonce or Taylor.
Physical media.
And that's real money. I mean, I know it's nothing compared to Beyonce's merch opens up the day before her concert.
Yeah. And I mean,
people line up.
I'm not exactly sure, but I know for some of these tours, when you make so much money, it becomes public information. Like, oh, wait, they played at NRG. That tour made $40 million that night. I'd be shocked if possibly that merch information is probably similar because you're making multiple millions of dollars.
Oh, absolutely.
You're entering a different, not even tax bracket. You're like a baby corporation at that point.
Yes.
And
breaking records and everything.
Yeah. And so but it's something that is talked about more, I feel like, with a lot of like indie artists that don't look like any of us.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of common knowledge.
Yeah.
And, I am a known squeaky wheel. I am going to go ask all the questions, and then I'll come back and report to the band, and I'll tell them, you know what these fools are fucking doing? And they're like, oh, Kam, that's cool. But then, the point is that I tell them so that we can educate ourselves as a business, or like, hey, guys, we got to spend like X amount of dollars. Like as soon as I leave here, for example, I just met 3 college kids who are going to start helping like call record stores for me and checking on our inventory. So it's not just on us, but that's worth the $200-$300, $400 to get them to go do something that they're trying to get into anyway, on some like paid intern kind of stuff, rather than like, oh, we're just constantly looking for people to do stuff for free, or oh, we're kind of constantly trying to do it all ourselves, when it's like, this is an important part of our business, but it's not the one that we can continue doing ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. But spending that money, $400, can bring you in $4K or more if all they're like, hey, they're low on your da-da-da-da-da, y'all need to order some more. Or even with Razo. Razo handles a lot of our band's merch side and inventory side. So if Razo is like, hey, we're running low on this record, we know we have like a very limited amount of time before we need to order some more, before it starts to cost us money. Because what we never want to have is we go to a show, and we've experienced this, where you have this great opportunity and you have nothing to sell.
Damn.
Because in our industry, especially if you end up with these opening gigs, when we first started, we didn't know like you could be offered like a gig opening for a big artist, and it didn't matter how many people were in your band, you'd be offered like $250 to open, which sounds a little disrespectful if you're not familiar with how this game works. We were like, what the fuck? What do you mean?
$250?
$250. But
we
then
get $25.
But then Razo, I'll never forget, he was running merch. He's like, you guys, I'm overwhelmed. I need some help. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, it just keeps selling.
Opportunity to sell merch.
Yeah.
And you're doing an arena show, or you're doing a theater show, you're opening for a bigger band, and you're the opener. It gives you an opportunity. You don't know how many records you're going to sell that night.
Yeah.
But say you have an opportunity to go open for this artist that can sell out a room that big, that means you have to prepare yourself for a room. Say, okay, there's 2,000 seats there that night. You have to be prepared to sell to at least 2,000 people that walk by you. Does that mean you're going to sell 2,000 albums? Probably not.
No.
But you might sell 100. You might sell 50.
Which is significant.
And I mean, honestly, we've had some tours where we thought we were going to do all right and it did okay. And other tours where we had no idea, and we were like, got paid $250, but you're making $3-4K in merch every night.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right, that's what saves your tour. That album, that's what fills your gas up in, the times where maybe the check ain't ready yet, or it got wired to whoever. Cool, the merch is what's gonna get y'all fed.
No, that's important. That's important. I mean, that kind of leads us to, we're talking about touring. The next big show where we're talking about this Galveston.
Yes.
Plenty of merch.
Plenty of merch is going to be on Galveston.
Yes.
Show. Okay.
We haven't played Galveston in a very long. I think the only time was at the Moody, wasn't it? The Moody Gardens.
Oh yeah.
The margarita thing.
Margarita. That's probably why I don't remember it too much.
It was like a one-off.
Yeah.
So this is like our first time properly on the island. And oddly enough, I played Galveston more last year than any other place, solo. And every single time, when are we gonna get the band down here? And I'd be like, we all get some money. We all get some money.
Yeah.
Look, I said, look, they comfortable.
It's a business.
They comfortable.
Yeah.
They're at the house chilling. Pay for it, And
Gotta get them out the house.
But now, I mean, they're taking care of us or whatever. But it's going to be really fun because there are so many people in Galveston that do not like leaving Galveston, that, they're excited that we're coming down. They got someone I saw yesterday. She's like, we're making plans. We're making plans. She said, well, we were going to come see me in New York, but she said, Nick's Spurs made it too expensive, so she's going to come see us.
Nick's Spurs.
Yeah.
Nick's Spurs.
Oh,
When are y'all playing Galveston?
The 27th.
The 27th of what?
June.
June 27th.
DJ Screw Day.
Yeah.
I just needed to make sure y'all said that so I can clip it up.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Well, look, I respectfully, I love Screw Day and I love what it represents, but I also don't like capitalizing on DJ Screw Day.
The death of DJ Screw.
When it's something that we are not, like, we're, we love Screw, we love the legacy, and we've done a lot of music from the catalog at this point. But yeah, we'll shout out and definitely make sure folks know what it is. But I don't want folks thinking that it's a Screw
This
event.
is like a Screw event. Yeah, I understand that.
And I also know that a lot of folks that affiliate with them don't like the confusion. If this is a Screw event,
Shelter in
this is a Screw
Galveston,
event.
we're gonna have something here.
Yeah.
Make it clear.
And also, I think they just made the announcement because I know finally
Good.
his music is going to start to be available
on streaming.
On streaming. So,
Wow.
you know, I think my biggest thing is like helping him. It's interesting to have such a big footprint, but also it's still kind of like a guarded secret. Like, like all of it, like people know his name, but it's like, oh, I don't think you necessarily know the impact and everything.
No. They love taking credit.
Oh, so much so.
Or calling it something else.
Yes.
It is.
It's just slow reverb. I'm like, that's chopped and screwed.
Yeah.
We know.
I don't acknowledge slow reverb.
Slow and reverb.
Slow and reverb is like me messing with my pedal.
Yes.
Or me and my trombone.
Yeah.
Call it what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was that point that Zero was going around beating people up for calling it screwed music. I was like, relax.
Allegedly.
Everybody. Allegedly.
Oh, allegedly.
I feel like allegedly a lot of people were beating people up.
That is our boy.
Around. Yeah. Allegedly a lot of people were beating people up for saying
Zero has, in a sea of people and artists that have treated us with absolute disregard and disrespect, Zero has always been kind to us.
He has been. Love the video too.
Oh, yes. Yes.
There are so many people that are like, I met Zero and he was really very pleasant.
He was lovely.
For somebody that says,
you know, the only time he ever got upset with me is because I wasn't harmonizing with him as much as I was with Devin.
Really? Oh, no. Okay, now you gotta. We gotta do.
Like, what's going on?
We gotta do the setup on this. All right.
That was the Welcome to Houston
Free Press Summer Fest.
Welcome to Houston Free Press.
We got asked to learn 24 songs for this performance and 9 rappers, and this was our first time working with a lot of them. Bun is who pitched us and connected us with everybody, but it ended up being him, Willie D, Scarface. We tried so dearly to get Bushwick in there, and we were very prepared to do the songs with all 3 of them, but he didn't make it on time and he rests. Little Flip, Paul, of course, Mike Jones.
Who?
Oh, who am I missing?
Slim.
Yeah, Slims. Yeah.
Did I add Zero already to this? There's 2 more.
So.
Little Kiki. Oh my God.
Kiki.
Oh my God.
Kiki.
Hi, Kiki. And number 9.
We did the
number
dubstep
9?
version too.
That was Little Flip all the way through.
Yeah.
So at the time was
and Devin.
Trey.
Oh, Devin. That's right.
Devin.
Okay.
We got asked why Trey wasn't invited. We were not in charge of the curation, and it would have been an honor to have Trey be a part of this with us. I know, right? Shit. I eventually got to perform with him and some of the guys when we did the Red Bull event with Gary Clark Jr. and Paul Wall.
Which was a fantastic
I was sick.
It's always nice when Red Bull pays for the production.
Red Bull
puts on a show.
I like how Red Bull does stuff too. Red Bull will literally be like, what y'all want to do? It's like, well, Paul Wall and Gary Clark Jr. want to do a thing where they switch sides.
It was great.
Like, okay.
My favorite that we've ever gotten to do was us versus Tank and the Bangas.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
That was
Bayou Music
also
Center.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we had done actually quite a few tours with them, and then they had
Bayou Music Center.
Yeah, Bayou Music Center. Yeah. They put 2 stages in, had us on one side and them on the other side.
Yeah.
And we just went back and forth, and it was something I hadn't experienced before. And it's been very hard to explain to a lot of sound engineers how this is possible. It worked. It sounded great. Everything was fine.
It sounded fantastic. Red Bull, do more of those.
It was.
I would love to see another one of those.
Special experience. There's a few videos I think online still, but not the ones that I would like to see, just because I think some licensing stuff. But such a special time for sure.
Was that the one where? Was there a second line outside of
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I
Yes.
That
remember
was that
too.
live thing.
Yeah.
That was the one
Yeah.
where like everybody went to
Yeah,
the
that
little
was like,
club and
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
then they second line up
Yeah.
outside
Yep.
of the venue. Yeah.
Soul Rebels.
Yeah.
Yes,
was-
yes,
was so
that was
recent.
incredible. But no, because we skipped ahead. All right, we did because we were talking about
Paul.
your harmonizing with Devin
Yeah.
Oh
way
yes.
too much,
Sorry.
and people don't realize how serious Zero takes music.
He's a singer.
Yes,
Like people know
Yes.
Zero as a rapper first, but he is very much so a singer. And I don't even, these rehearsals were crazy. We should have gotten paid so much more money. Oh my God. They were like 4-hour rehearsals
God.
and like I was not in charge of the admin. Our team was not in charge of the admin. Their festival people were in charge of the admin. So we were like at liberty of their scheduling of all of these rappers around our schedule. And we kept doing all this back and forth. I will say that in the depth of our frustration, Zero and Devin were just always so pro and also always there.
Mhm.
And like Devin would be the first one there and like the last to leave. And so I got to sing with him a lot more. And I knew all their songs, but Zero, this was my first time working with him professionally. So I was like, I don't know what to expect. I don't, you hear all these rumors, right? And so I was trying to keep an open mind. And he has glasses on. And I do, I don't know, like 2 or 3 songs with Devin. And Zero's manager comes up and he's like, is it his time? And I'm like, yeah. And so he goes up and we start doing I thought we were gonna get to do most of the Dom freestyle, and at the last minute he's like, "No, we're not doing that." And I'm like,
Sounds about right. Yeah.
"Oh!" I had a whole vision, y'all. It's okay. And he's like, "No, we're not doing that." I was like, "What are we gonna do?" Because I hate you, bitch. And I said, "Okay, that's fine." And so, I'm singing with him, and at a certain point, he pauses it, and he's like, "I don't know how I feel about this." And I'm like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "I don't know." And he walks away and goes to talk to his manager and they come back and they're like, "You need to sing the harmonies just as much as you were singing with Devin." Whoa. And I'm like, "Okay." Because I'm trying to like lay back on it, But I was like, "Okay, we singing. Okay, we're singing. All right." It was great. And honestly, all of the rappers were fantastic and lovely. And it's very much so an experience that I'm glad we said yes to. And, so grateful to Bun B for advocating for us because that festival don't exist anymore. But I know the motherfuckers are trying to have another band. And Bun was like, "No, you need to have the Suffers." Because he has nice taste.
The Houston hip hop community really cuts for the Suffers.
They really
like they really, really, really like y'all. So yeah.
I mean, we try to be authentic and real and welcoming, but also, I got my recording start as I call it a closet singer, where, the hood setups meant the booth was in the closet. Paul still records himself in the closet at his house, but I would just show up and I would be there for my fellow artists that were just trying to make something happen. Sometimes it would be at the sketchy apartment complex on the Southwest side. Sometimes it would be at, somebody's grandma's house in Acres Homes and something was happening on this side of the block and that side of the block. But hey, they know the studio for 2 hours. They're going to be quiet. Yeah. They're going to chill out,
Ain't got nothing to do with you.
Ain't got nothing to do with me. Everything's cool,
Yeah,
and,
singing.
I was just the singer. And early on, I wasn't really concerned about money. I really just wanted to know how all this stuff worked. I wanted the etiquette. I wanted to meet everybody. But now that we've been doing our thing, like I just look at it all as foundational.
Yeah.
And I look at those rappers as all of them as teachers, because at the end of the day, lovely people, very hard working, talented people. But what my biggest lesson is that when it came to the business side, that's where they truly didn't take any shit. And as I've continued to grow and go to these major cities and go to these places, it's very hard to fuck with me and like get over when I'm reading you. Because when you're from here, you have to read people. You have to know who you're dealing with. And if people aren't authentic, you need to know in advance.
Yeah.
Because it can be very expensive and very, ridiculous. And I am so grateful to this city because it sets you up. I call the city a scam often because I learned so much the hard way here. But when I go to Nashville, I go to LA, I go to New York, I know now what I'm dealing with. I know who I can see it. I'm like, oh, you on some bullshit. All right, let me go back to the studio, or let me go see what my other options are. And now that I have my own project, but the band, where we don't have to do all this like nonsense that we've been sold, I'm leaning into it. You telling me that I don't have to do a night studio session ever again? Fuck y'all. I don't want to be outside at night if I don't have to be.
Yeah.
With y'all, with a bunch of dudes. No, they want to be at home too. When we have sessions, what time do we record?
Morning, afternoon.
Like
That's amazing.
Like a job.
Yeah.
That's real. Yeah. Clock
We
in,
quit our
clock out.
jobs. What the
8
fuck
to
are we
5.
going to the studio at 8 o'clock at night
Yeah.
for?
We'll get
10 a.m.
Yeah, we'll get to Chappie's. Cam will roll up with some Shipleys.
Yeah.
We have coffee going, and we're just,
I always forget my weed, but thankfully Choppy's like, I got you.
Damn. How much weed you smoke when you forget the weed? That's crazy.
Look, there's a lot of records. Just trying to remember. But yeah, I think the sweet spot for us is usually like 10, 10:30.
Imagine.
And then someone always got to go get their kids around 2, 1:30 at the latest. And that's it. It's not, oh, you got to be there all day, every day. Sometimes it's, hey, let's do this Tuesday, Thursdays if we're off tour. Let's do the Tuesday, or the rhythm section, y'all get together, or the two of y'all do, and right now I know we're at the end of the record because new songs are starting to push through in my brain. And I'm like, let me chill. Let me finish our work. I'm gonna just put it in the little box on the side. And let me finish our work while we work on this one. Because it's so easy to get distracted by the next song. You'd be like, can we squeeze this one in real quick? I think it can. No.
For y'all, since y'all treat this like, it sounds like you treat it like an 8 to 5 job that has all these other perks and things that you have to do.
Yeah.
For the families, the kids, the significant others, things like that. In your eyes, how did it, like, when you guys all get together as a group, and especially when it's everybody else, where it's like, look, it's like the wives, the kids, all these people, the husbands, it's like, how do they see this as, oh yeah, you just clock into work and they little band? Like, how does that work?
Oh man, I don't even know.
I think it depends on the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think early on, I think early on, my most vivid memory, especially from the wives, was y'all are crazy, but also y'all have to go.
Okay.
Y'all have to go.
Okay.
And, we all kind of were just on the same page. They were happy they married musicians. They knew who they were with. So it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is a surprise. It's how's your husband's band doing? Oh, they're playing Letterman. It's a different game now, right? But they're just as big of a part of our band to me as we are to each other. Like, if Razo and his wife are going through something, it's not going to be a good tour. Like, it's like, we're going to have, what's going on? Y'all all right? What, not saying he wouldn't be able to do his show or whatever, but it's like those relationships, the dynamics, the respect of how we all show up for one another, it's all so deeply connected.
Actually, it's funny because me and my wife were just talking about the other day, because I forgot how we got into conversation, but me and her, we grew up going to shows all the time, and we've been together for a very long time. And so me always talking about playing in bands and stuff like that, and possibly going on tour, it was cool. Like, when we finally got to do, what we're doing now, because, it's been something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So, she was really thrilled about it, and, excited. And she, we talk about, like, man, I can't believe we reminisce about some of the times that, we were on tour, or some of the crazy stuff that we got to do, and it's just like, man, I can't believe we got to do this. This is rad, and it's cool to be able to share the experience with her, and she has all the memories that I do about it, and all the good memories, and yeah, it's fun, and it's I'm glad I'm able to share it with somebody that cares about me like the way she does. So, but yeah,
that's really awesome.
That's gotta be spectacular.
Yeah. Especially having a significant other that just has like a really cool job. Like,
yeah,
it's that kind of thing where it's like, oh, like, what does your husband do? It's like, he's on Letterman. Yeah, I'm saying he's on the Daily Show.
No, it's nice when we can take care of them too. Like every now and then it'll be like, hey, this is one that they probably want to come to.
Yeah.
Like a certain gig or a certain hotel room or whatever.
But yeah, I think it's like a big family, like seriously a really big family. I mean, we've all known each other for a very long time. And now to see the kids getting like, some of the guys that have kids, them getting older, and then if we do have like a hangout where it's like a barbecue or something, everybody's together, and it's kind of crazy to see like, everybody all grown up, and
yeah, I mean, we were babies when we started this band. Razo, shoot, oh my gosh, we're both gonna turn 40 next year. But the band started when we had just turned 25. And so to go from 24 to 40 together, it's like, this is our job for real.
Yeah.
And like sometimes, I forget, like not forget, but like forget that this is not normal to most of the world. And I think it's also why I personally aggressively show up the way that I do. It's not because, I want us to be compared to anybody or whatever. It's impossible. I know it's impossible to compare us, but I also know because of how we show up, not only in the music and the work that we put forth, but in how we show up for one another, it's very special. It's not something that is very common, and it's something that I treat like a gift, and so every show that we get to do now, it's a blessing. It's refreshing to be at this part in our career where the gigs just keep getting better and better. I know we're not going backwards, and so I'm just honored to be at this point, at this stage with this crew. And, when we get everybody together, it feels good. And I can't say that about everybody's entourage, but when we do hometown shows, especially the last 2 years, we've only done one H-Town show a year, which has caused a little bit of anger for some folks.
I think I get along.
But it's made us happy.
Why does it make you happy?
Because we're not having to oversaturate the market as much. We're not having to go through, we deserve like a 7-year break for how much touring we did.
Yeah.
It just wasn't healthy. It wasn't sustainable. And we saw a lot of shit on the road that is just like, you probably could use a couple therapists for it. But now it's like, you want to do it because you love it. You want to do it because of the joy of it. When our next record comes out, every time we do this for them, I've done an obnoxious amount of music business self-education so that I could come up with like what I think our next trajectory should look like. So it's like, okay, our last album, I was like, if we're not making X per show, we need to revisit. For this next album, we chilling right now, but I'm gonna be like, hey, this is our 4th record. I look around at our peers, and this is like one of the few times I'll do it. I'll be like, all right, looking over here. The ones that are considered our contemporaries, that most of them are signed to some type of deal. I'm like, okay, this is what they're doing. These are the types of rooms they're doing. This is where they're playing. All right, with no deal, with no whatever, what does this look like to us? Okay. And we have managed to hit the mark and then some on every record. And the last record, I want to say we got through mastering, and I was like, oh my God, how are we gonna pay for this? How are we gonna pay for that? How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do that? And then the first single ends up immediately recouping, like just on some like, hey guys, know you've been stressed out from COVID. The universe is back.
The universe.
And Brene Brown wants your song on her podcast theme song. Here you go.
Boom.
And I just remember our label, which was our management group at the time. They love us. They believed in us and we're wonderful people. But even they were kind of shocked, like we were
like already?
Yeah.
because it wasn't normal.
Yeah.
And COVID, if you are to study the science of your average music release during and like maybe that year after COVID, those first year and a half of touring, almost every band I know, unless you were a big motherfucker, lost money. The algorithms changed completely. So all of your traditional ways of promoting in the trash can. So you didn't have access to your normal audience because a lot of these companies quietly monetized everything while we were at home.
Yes.
Oh, what do you like? Okay, great. Well, these fans of yours like you too, and you can pay like $400 and we'll let them know you're coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
A month, a week, I don't know.
Yeah.
But only a little bit of your
but only
followers.
Only a little bit.
And Razo, I mean,
10%.
oh my gosh, between he and I, like we were going so hard on the algorithm, not the algorithm, on specifically Instagram and Facebook for a second, only to have it disrespect us in terms of like hiding it from our followers.
Yeah.
And you'd have people be like, oh, you need to do stronger content. Oh, if you only had better this, if you only had better that. And I'm like,
pay for this.
if y'all, first of all, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like respectfully, but not like that's gaslighting at the end of the day. And I've learned being such a music data nerd that you have to be almost careful sometimes when you say what's happening with the data, because Razo's my witness. 10 years ago, I said, I'm pretty sure someone's fucking with our Spotify numbers. Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, I'm looking at the numbers and the data, and it was doing this, and this. We haven't been removed off of any playlists. Nothing's like the numbers are still the same. Huh? Let me contact our rep at Spotify back when they used to have artist reps for indie artists. Hey, insert what was his name? Brian. I said, I'm noticing these numbers off on our Spotify. Would you mind explaining to me what's going on? Well, we're testing out this new thing called a campaign, and certain artists have access to it, other ones don't. Happy to talk through the levels with you if you're interested. He adds another person to the copy. I respond back, okay, interesting. This wasn't the case previously. We weren't told about paid campaigns. We were made to think that y'all were just a distributive partner.
Yeah.
And because our record was doing well, I skipped a step. The reason we had access to a Spotify artist partner is because our song Make Some Room was one of the first indie songs to go on the Spotify global chart without any extra help or push. So a lot of label people were confused. Who are these niggas? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, who let you in here? And we're like, we don't know. We don't know what's going on. And we're like, Spotify, that streaming site, okay, whatever. And then we get an invite to come visit them at their headquarters. And for me, I had just left a very fancy oil and gas job here where I used to be the bitch in the office that ordered all the stuff. So I know how much everything is. I know how much these chairs are. I know how much all these things are. I said, why do y'all have all these aerodynamic chairs and y'all have what are those things called? Why am I forgetting?
I don't know. They just kept giving me
They're
snacks.
Like swing hangy thing that you lay. The hammocks. They have hammocks all over the office. You have all these snacks. You have 2 froyo machines. They said, y'all want to go to the rooftop? I was like, yeah, we're in downtown Manhattan. Yeah, let's go to the rooftop. Then I get mad. I look at the floor. I said, what type of flooring is this? Oh, it's bamboo wood. And I'm like,
that's a lot.
Why do you have bamboo wood flooring on a rooftop in New York City? Oh, well, it adds to our inspiration for our, and I'm like, okay.
There was no covering for the bamboo, so
No.
when it rains, it's ruined.
It's a nice look. I paid for this band.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what.
So that's what I start thinking about. I'm like, huh. And we had 2 band members early on, but our bass player Adam was always really good about asking, "So where'd that money come from? So where'd that come from, huh?" And they're like, "Oh, it's part of our allotment." I forgot the word that the girl used, but basically trying to explain that it was like part of their resources within the company to just create a space so that their employees were more encouraged to work and I guess be there and hang out longer or whatever.
Didn't answer the question at all.
Exactly, which I found to be anti-artist. Next thing I know, I sent another email asking about our data. Brian's email bounced back. I emailed the person that was on the email with him. Oh yeah, I'm actually not, I can't answer questions about this. Every single person that used to yap and want to be in our face, no responses at all. Because I had the nerve to ask about just how their internal algorithm worked. I thought we were partners. I thought we were friends. I'm just trying to figure out how to.
If you want to know how the money's made, you got to know how the money's made.
You know what I'm saying? Ryan's been moved around.
And so it's fine. And now as we go into this new era where it's AI versus actual instruments. Yeah. I'm not anti-AI. I do think that there's a lot of great stuff about it, but I am anti-AI being treated the same way that,
where it's just blatant theft.
Yeah.
There's nothing around it.
I think, cool, you want to release that, cool, just put a label on it.
Yeah.
Or
say that it's AI.
Yeah.
Say that this artist is AI.
But they know if they do that, people won't listen to it.
But that's not our problem.
Yeah. The art is stolen.
And also, when you read, there's a book by Liz Pelly specifically about Spotify's practices that came out last year, and I can't believe I'm forgetting what it's called, but she investigated over the course of I think like 5 or 7 years, went over to is it Sweden or Switzerland where the dude's from, David Eck, their CEO, who hates artists but loves data, and it basically goes into how this company is a surveillance company. They are not a music company. They're not for artist music, or they're not for musicians. They are for learning you, what you like, how your emotions work, and spoon feeding you music that will feed whatever you've taught it that it is. And it's
your Spotify wrap up is literally them saying like, hey, look at some of the stuff we were looking at about you all year. Like that's just it. Like it's like, oh yeah. Look at what we were looking at. And I'm like, and this is only a piece of what we were looking at.
Mood Machine. That's what it's called by Liz Pelly.
Everybody look up Mood Machine. First off, we are very glad that y'all listened to Lionel Richie and decided to stick it out. So shouts out to Lionel Richie.
Where can we find you guys?
There we go. Let people know where to find you. Also, let people know when these albums are dropping too.
The Suffers. Sorry, excuse me. Oh my God. Thank you, Michael Razo. Oh my God. Yes, we have a new website.
Okay.
www.thesuffersmusic.com. Thank you.
Okay.
And our album will hopefully be out around this time next year.
Okay.
My record will be out at the end of the summer. I'm dropping my first single June 11th called I Got a Lover.
Okay.
It's about being a lustful young thing in New York and whatever that might mean to you. And it goes out to anybody that's ever gone to New York City looking for something unhealthy and found it.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. Summer song.
A time was had.
Yeah. The block party. Razo met him.
I think that's the note we're going to end on a high note like that. Once again, my name is Avery, like a very nice guy. This is my brother, Jess Devine, and My Humble Opinion podcast. We've been here with The Suffers with
Cam Franklin
and
Michael Razo.
And that's awesome. All right. H-Town.
H-Town.
It's too sweet. H-Town.
Hey.
It's too sweet.
I like your